Eels and the Panthers. Parramatta, they've had 3 4-point losses to start the season. They've got a Panthers side fresh from the bye and a win before that. Gal, Newtown, the only team back in 1923 to lose their first 4 matches and go on and win a title. You said recently here that the Eels shouldn't be panicking. Should they now?
Yeah, they're getting close to it. I said on the weekend, I don't think they can win the comp from here. And look, before the weekend, I probably wouldn't have said that. I was pretty much on the Eels at the start of this year. Even when they lost that first round versus Melbourne Storm, I thought the addition of Hodgson was pretty good. I liked his skill and the way his kicking game I thought was good and how brutal he is in defence. But yeah, I don't think they can win the comp from here. I really don't. I worry about their back row. It's a whole lot skinnier than what it was last year. And their bench is where I thought, like, where you compare the weekend's games. The Roosters brought on Jadbury-Hargraves and Brandon Smith off the bench. I mean, and you look at the bench Parramatta's bringing on. They've lost Papali'i, obviously Brown's now gone. Madison's been injured, so I just think that their bench isn't strong enough to be able to compete at the back end of the season with these better sides. So I think Panthers will win this week and make it none from 4.
I don't know if you like the term, the window closing and all that sort of stuff. That's what everybody was talking about with Parramatta coming into this season. And yeah, they've missed Madison for the suspension reasons, and they've missed Sean Lane a lot, I think, as well.
Yep.
Has that window shut, Gal? I mean,
well, I said I was one of them people that said I think last year was their opportunity. Obviously, as I said, watching round 1, I thought was okay. They're going to get Lane back. They're going to get Madison back. I didn't know the issues with Brown at the club. I think Brown's a pretty good player, so I'm disappointed for them that they've lost him. And I thought the addition was Hodgson was pretty good, but that's not. He's probably not running the ball enough. He had a run the other night and scored a try. And I just think their bench is too skinny. I really do. When you compare the big sides, the big, tough, hard sides are going to be at the top of the ladder, I think their benches are really, really strong, and I don't think the Parramatta Eels bench is strong enough.
Gus, a couple of ones for you. Mitch Moses, should they have had the deal done by now?
No, what's it matter? I mean, my God, if he signs 12 months early, everyone's whinging about him signing 12 months early or going to another club. Let the bloke play. Why are we worried about his contract?
I think the only issue, I don't think it's affecting his footy at all, and that's up to him. I said from the very first show this year, it's up to him.
Well, if that's the reason why they've lost 3-0, they won't have a good hard look at themselves. It's got nothing to do with it.
That's not the reason, Gus. But I think the only thing it's doing is it's making a lot of people focus on his game. That's the thing. And when you're not winning, you know yourself, halfbacks do cop a fair bit of criticism. They do. It's naturally because they are the team leaders. They are the bloke who leads the team around the park. So,
it's got nothing to do with
I'm not saying it's got anything to do with the way they're going. I'm saying it's making people focus on him more than it should. That's what I'm saying.
We're always
and whether he has a good game or a bad game, that's what's making people focus on. When you're 0-3 and not leading the team around the park the way you should,
so
people notice that. No, it's not his fault. I'm not saying that. But little things that happen, people are watching it more and more and more than they otherwise would.
Who, media?
That's what I'm saying.
Media.
Media.
Yeah, media. See?
Well, mate, the media are part of the game, mate. They're part of the game. That's what we're here doing. It's part of the game.
He's not the reason why.
No, I know he's not the reason. I'm not saying that for a single second, and I agree with that, Gus. But all I'm saying is it's making people focus on him more.
Let's say he comes out and signs with Parramatta this week. Is it all solved then? Is everything happy? They're going to be
probably.
You reckon?
Shuts us up.
You reckon?
If they win, it would. If he signs, it shuts us up.
Don't put us. I haven't said it.
Okay, well, not you. You're part of the media, Gus. You've been for 100 years, whether you like it or not. Okay?
Gus, what hasn't helped is no Ryan Madison. Now, there's been a lot said about choosing to
Don't ask me, John.
There's been a lot said about him taking 3-week suspension over a $4,000 fine after the crusher in the grand final last year. What I want to know, and he's been copping it, how does it work at club level when these decisions are being made? The next morning, the sheet comes out from the match review committee saying this player has been fined or given this ban for this offence. Who does it go to? Does it go to the general manager of football, the coaches? Is there a meeting where everyone sits around? Tell me please, how this decision was made.
Well, it's unfair to ask me because I'm actually involved with another club.
Well, how's it made at the Bulldogs?
Well, if a decision came through to us that a player had been fined rather than suspended, we go, yay, he's able to play. And I think every player in the game feels that way, and I think every administrator feels that way. I certainly hope I'm never faced with a situation where a player comes to me and says, I'd rather play the fine. I'd rather not play than pay the fine. I hope it never happens.
The explanation that's been put forward is that it came to him during the downtime after the grand final when they were obviously unhappy. He was really annoyed by it and said, "Stuff it! I'm not paying a fine." I'm not saying this. I agree with. I'm just saying.
I mean, but it doesn't just come to the player personally.
But then
it's a club decision.
But then 3 days later, he said, "Oh, well, actually, I probably should." But by then, the NRL, I don't think they wanted to open another avenue for players to change their mind, so they said no.
I think if a player ever came to me and said he would rather miss the game than pay the fine, whatever the fine was, I'd put him in the back of the car and take him for a drive. And I think he might have changed his mind by the time he came back.
Where are you taking him? Where are you going?
Eh?
Where are you going? For coffee?
Yeah. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Anyway.
But then not just one game.
Each to his own.
3 games.
Eh?
3.
3 games. How much?
$4,000.
Please.
Gal, would you have paid it?
Oh, I think I would have. I would have.
You would have for sure, wouldn't you?
I would have, yeah, everyone. I mean, he's the only player in history that hasn't paid it. Now,
You'd have passed the hat around, though. You'd have asked everyone.
But he's only one factor in it. Like, how does it get through the club? Like, doesn't it come across Brad Arthur's desk? He goes, wait a second, who's ticked this off before it goes to the NRL?
Well, I can only assume it's because it was the end of the season, they'd all gone on holiday. So I can't believe this has got through to the keeper, where you've got a marquee player out for 3 weeks because he won't pay a $4,000 fine. I mean, please. Please. And you're worried about Mitchell Moses not signing